Good morning, everybody. This is Don Blomdahl, Hall of Fame veteran, sports cards and collectibles, coming to you live from Arlington, Washington. Hopefully, everybody is having a good day today. We are going to be doing the Boston Red Sox today for our team history. Just jumping in for an early preview in case anybody wants to chat on board the channel with me before we get into our content promptly at 10:30. Okay. Got all my other devices all synced and good to go for now. Seen NASCAR was in here earlier. I don't know if he's still hanging around or just coming back at 10:30 when I start. Most likely he's probably doing something else. But we will get promptly started at... It's pretty nice. When I looked in here before we even went live, of course, my usual one individual that likes to come into the stream and give me my thumbs down gave me my thumbs down before I even started today. But that's okay. We just keep plugging ahead and going forward the way we do it. That's the way we rock and roll on my channel. Hey Don, what's a hot corner box? There we go. Yeah, we're going to do this hot corner box at the end here. I found these at my local Target when I bought some of my Topps 2020. They had 2 left, so I bought both of them. So we're going to open up one of these. It is a Fairfield product, but this Fairfield product did come from Target. It says this box guaranteed to contain 1 hobby pack, 2 hits, and 4 total card packs. Now, I've seen them sometimes as a hit being an autograph, a relic card. 9 times out of 10, it's usually somebody that nobody really knows, but at least it gives you a hit. It says the products in this package have been purchased directly from the manufacturer or purchased from the secondary market and repackaged for retail by the Fairfield Company. The ones that are repackaged are basically the relic cards usually. They're the ones that are not in there, but you do get 4 packs of cards. All right, so one of those packs is a hobby pack, and then basically you have 3 packs that are wax packs from years gone by. So that's, I still haven't bought any 2020 shelf swiped. Yeah. Pretty much, I think the product, as the hobby's starting to resurge and stuff, is slowly growing. You can see this box was definitely, had been banged around, but not too bad. I mean, it's not crushed. So we'll see what we get in here for our 2 hits when we do open it. But we'll open that up after we go through the history of the Boston Red Sox. I got these 2 little cards here. That's the best I could do for finding the Boston Red Sox emblem there. So we will open up this hot box at the end here. Let's kind of set this off in the corner here. Right about there. In about 3 minutes, we'll get going here. So hopefully you guys had a great and wonderful weekend. Was at Walmart over the weekend, wiped out of 2020. I bought a 2019 clearance pack. Oh wow, we have them. We have the baseball card. Well, we didn't actually. No, they don't have any on clearance for baseball because baseball was sold out for the 2019 product unless they pull some out of the back or something. I gotta head back through that way when I go to the bank later and stop off and pick something up for the missus. Pulled a Hank Auer rookie reprint. That was nice. Oh, that is cool. Yeah, I enjoy even pulling those cards when I get them as inserts and stuff for the Hall of Famers. I still consider that a Hall of Famer card. For my sort purposes, I've got lots of those type reprints and such like that. I sometimes display some of those and show some of those when I do my Hall of Fame inductees video series. So we'll have that on the docket coming up this week. Yeah, I love the classic Topps reprint cards. Exactly. All right. So we've got about 2 minutes to go here, and then we'll get into the history of the Boston Red Sox. Let me get this set better. Right, there we go. I think that's pretty good right there. It shows the top of the hot box. And yeah, it is on a hanger rack, so next time I swing by my Target when I'm in that neighborhood, I'll check and see if they get any more Topps product in. When I did go last week, I did find a couple more blaster boxes for Topps 2020. They did have some more out there. They had 2 left. I grabbed both of them. So sometimes they'll put new stuff out, but what I should have did earlier was just went and I got my new Beckett here. I got my new Beckett here. I'll lay this down here real quick. If you find this Beckett, or if you're a Beckett person, they do list the schedule in here. This is a Gleyber. It goes over Gleyber Torres' rookie cards. Goes over a lot of his good rookies that are in there. Gleyber Torres rookie card countdown. So that is listed in here. But just before we get going here, if you do see this book or find it somewhere, let me find the page real quick here. It lists when all the release dates are for the Topps 2020 product this year. Has a nice little article in here of Babe Ruth, the Babe's 500th home run bat a hit, and how much it sold for here recently. Let's see, hold on a second. Dun, dun, dun. Trying to find it real quick. Allen and Ginter they list in here. Oh, there we go. They got the 2020 release dates in here. You can see that right there. Topps. Of course, the first one that came out earlier this year was the 2020 Topps Archive Signature Series. Then you had the 2020 Topps Series 1 baseball. You had the 2020 Leaf Lumber Kings baseball. Then so the next release will be February 26th. Will be the Topps Heritage. And then you got down here, you got 2020 Donruss baseball is March 4th. 2020 Topps Tribute is March 4th. Then we got 2020 Panini Stars and Stripes USA baseball will be March 11th. 2020 Topps Opening Day will be March 11th. I'll just go over this first page here and then we'll get into our content here. 2020 Topps Inception baseball, March 18th. March 25th will be the Topps Gypsy Queen baseball. 2020 Topps MLB sticker collection, April 1st. I like how they come up with the sticker collection on April Fool's Day, along with 2020 Topps Sterling baseball is also on the 1st. And then they do, maybe I'll highlight the next round of these, the ones that'll be coming out right during the Nationals. There is July 29th, 2020 Topps Chrome baseball. So that'll be releasing during the Nationals this year. So it does list the other sets here, and then I think there's a third page, I believe. No, it just goes through July. So, why don't I just do these real quick? That way, if somebody wants, they can look through here. So you got the 2020 Bowman comes out April 15th. 2020 Topps Definitive Collection Baseball comes out April 22nd. 2020 Panini Diamond Kings comes out April 29th. 2020 Topps Tier 1 Baseball, also April 29th. May 6th is the Topps Transcendent Hall of Fame Baseball, May 6th. May 13th will be the 2020 Topps Big League Baseball. 2020 Topps Pro Debut, May 20th. 2020 Topps Finest Baseball, June 3rd. And then you have down here 2020 Topps Series 2 comes out June 10th. And then 2020 Topps Stadium Club, June 24th. And then 2020 Topps Allen and Ginter comes out July 15th. And then 2020 Topps Chrome Baseball, of course, is July 29th. So that does list the releases for the upcoming products. So you could go back through the beginning of this video if you do want. And you can go over that. I don't believe it. Let me check after some of these advertisement pages here. Nope, then it goes into the price guide right after that. I'll toss that off to the side there. And we will get ready now for our team history for the Boston Red Sox. This is, of course, in tribute to Super Short Print Cards. How you doing there, Super Short Print? SSPCB? SSPCB. It's a lot quicker to say it that way, I think. SSPCB. So let me just get that relined back up there. So again, we'll go over the Boston Red Sox team history here, and then we will open up this hot corner box to see what kind of 2 hits we get in this hot corner box. Again, I found this in a Target close near me, so I'm going to be doing oddball type boxes. I got some this hot corner. I got some Fairfields, and I've got a pack chase box. So I've got about 2 rounds of that type product coming up here in the foreseeable near future, along with Interspray, Ethan's Elvis covers, and more. Red Sox Nation. There we go. Yeah, Ethan, I'm doing your Red Sox. Plus, I forgot to stick something in your package. I was almost tempted to open it up and retape it closed, but your package went out today, so it'll be in the mail. Sorry about that. Actually, it'll go in the mail as soon as I go to the post office and drop it off. As soon as I finish the stream today, I got to run out and do some errands. So that's what's taking place there. I was going to in the next package I sent you, I'm going to have a Boston Red Sox related item coming your way. It's not a sports card, but I think you'll enjoy it. So I wasn't even thinking. I realized after I closed the package and got those couple cards ready for you so I was a little upset there, but I'm like, I'll be sending packages to Ethan here and there, so I just do it then. All right. So without further ado, I am running a couple minutes late. Let's get into our Boston Red Sox. All right, the Boston Red Sox are an American professional baseball team based in Boston, Massachusetts. They compete in the Major League Baseball as a member club of the American League East Division. The team has won 9 World Series championships, tied for 3rd most of any Major League Baseball team, and they have played in 13. Their most recent World Series appearance and win was 2018. In addition, they won the 1904 American League pennant, but were not able to defend their 1903 World Series championship when the New York Giants refused to participate in the 1904 World Series. Founded in 1901 as one of American League's 8 character franchises, the Red Sox home ballpark has been Fenway Park since 1912. The Red Sox name was chosen by the team owner, John I. Traylor, circa 1908, following the lead of previous teams that had been known as the Boston Red Stockings. So if you guys remember, I did do quite a few videos ago, I did do the team history for the Boston Red Stockings. And actually, before they were even the Boston Red Stockings, they were the Cincinnati Red Stockings, to go even farther back in time. So including the forerunner of the Atlanta Braves. The Red Sox were a dominant team in the new league, defeating the Pittsburgh Pirates in the first World Series in 1903 and winning 4 more championships by 1918. However, they then went into one of the longest championship droughts in baseball history, dubbed the Curse of the Bambino. After its alleged inception due to the Red Sox sale of Babe Ruth to the rival New York Yankees 2 years after their world championship in 1918, an 86-year wait before the team's 6th world championship in 2004. The team's history during that period was punctuated with some of the most memorable moments in World Series history, including Enos Slaughter's Mad Dash in 1946, the impossible dream of 1967 Carlton Fisk's home run in 1975, and Bill Buckner's error in 1986. Following their victory in the 2018 World Series, they became the first team to win 4 World Series trophies in the 21st century, with championships in 2004, 2007, 2013, and 2018. The team's history has also been marked by the team's intense rivalry with the New York Yankees, arguably the first and most historic in North American professional sports. The Boston Red Sox are pre-owned by Fenway Sports Group, which also owns Liverpool FC of the Premier League in England. They are consistently one of the top MLB teams in average road attendance, while the small capacity of Fenway Park prevents them from leading in overall attendance. From May 15, 2003 to April 10, 2013. The Red Sox sold out every home game, a total of 820 games, 794 regular season, for a Major League professional sports record. Both Neil Diamond's Sweet Caroline and the Standell's Dirty Water have become anthem for the Red Sox. So as far as the nickname for the team, the name Red Sox, chosen by owner John I. Taylor after the 1907 season, refers to the red house of the team, the red hose in the team uniform beginning in 1908. Sox had previously adopted for the Chicago White Sox by newspaper needing a headline-friendly form of stockings, as stockings win, in large type, did not fit in a column. The team, named Red Sox, had previously been used as early as 1888 by a colored team from Norfolk, Virginia. The Spanish-language media sometimes refers to the team as Medias Rojas, a translation of Red Sox. The official Spanish site uses the variant Los Red Sox. The Red Stockings nickname was first used by a baseball team by the Cincinnati Red Stockings, who were members of the pioneering National Association of Baseball Players. Managed by Harry Wright, Cincinnati adopted a uniform with white knickers and red stockings and earned the famous nickname, a year or two before hiring the first fully professional team in 1869. When the club folded after the 1870 season, Wright was hired by a Boston businessman, Ivers Whitney Adams, to organize a new team in Boston, and he did, bringing 3 teammates and the Red Stockings nickname along. Most nicknames were then unofficial, neither club names nor registered trademarks, so the migration was informal. The Boston Red Stockings won 4 championships in 5 seasons of the new National Association, the first professional league. When a new Cincinnati club was formed as a charter member of the National League in 1876, the Red Stockings nickname was commonly reserved for them once again, and the Boston team was referred to as the Red Caps. Other names were sometimes used before Boston officially adopted the nickname Braves in 1912. The club eventually left Boston for Milwaukee and is now playing in Atlanta, Georgia. In 1901, the upstart American League established a competing club in Boston. Originally, a team was supposed to be started in Buffalo, but league ownership at the last minute removed that city from their plans in favor of the expansion Boston franchise. For 7 seasons, the American League team wore dark blue stockings and had no official nickname. They were simply Boston, Bostonians, or the Bostons, or the Americans, or Boston Americans, as in American Leaguers. Boston being a 2-team city, their 1901 to 1907 jerseys, both home and road, just read Boston, except for 1902 when they sported large letters B and A, denoting Boston and American. Newspaper writers in the time used other nicknames for the club, including Somersets for owner Charles Summers and Plymouth Rocks, Bean Eaters, the Collinsites for manager Jimmy Collins, and Pilgrims. For years, many sources have listed Pilgrims as the early Boston American League team's official nickname, but researcher Bill Nolan has demonstrated that the name was barely used, if at all, during the team's early years. The origin of the nickname appears to be a poem entitled The Pilgrims at Home, written by Edwin Fitzwilliam, that was sung at the 1907 home opener, Rory O'More Melody. This nickname was commonly used during that season, perhaps because the team had a new manager and several rookie players. John I. Taylor had said in December 1907 that the Pilgrims sounded too much like homeless wanderers. The National League Club in Boston, though seldom called the Red Stockings anymore, still wore red trim. In 1907, the National League Club adopted an all-white uniform, and the American League team saw an opportunity on December 18, 1907. Taylor announced that the club had officially adopted red as its new team color. The 1908 uniforms featured a large icon of a red stocking angling across the shirt in front. For 1908, the National League Club returned to wearing red trim, but the American League team finally had an official nickname and remained the Red Sox for good. The name is often shortened to Bo Sox or Bo Sox, a combination of Boston and Sox, similar to the Chi Sox in Chicago or the minor league Paw Sox of Pawtucket. Sports writers sometimes refer to the Red Sox as the Crimson Hose and the Old Town team. Recently, media have begun to call them the Sox, casually reflecting how the word is pronounced with a New England accent. However, most fans simply refer to the team as the Sox when the context is understood to mean Red Sox. The formal name of the entity which owns the team is the Boston Red Sox Baseball Club Limited Partnership. The name shown on a door near the main entrance, Boston American League Baseball Company, is historical, predating the formation of the limited partnership on May 26, 1978. The entrance also figures in Robert B. Parker's Spencer and baseball novel by Mortal Stakes. All right, now next we'll go into the history. Let me just pop down here. Sally's in the house. There we go. All right, Sally's in the house. Who else do we got here? Jared Shelton's in the house. How you doing there, Jared? Nice to have you join us again. Dun, dun, dun. 31st team is here. Thanks there, 31st team. Appreciate you being here. It's nice to have everybody in there. If anybody that does have a chance, if you are a moderator, if you can just say hello to people when they come into the room while I'm reading through the team history, that would be appreciated. But if you can't, I understand. Some people like to just listen and sometimes watch in the background when they're doing their work, because I know for a lot of you guys on the East Coast, you're still at work. It's early afternoon there, late morning here on the Pacific Coast. So without further ado, let's get into some of the history through the years with the Boston Red Sox. So in 1901 through 1919, they call it the Golden Era. In 1901, the minor Western League, led by Ban Johnson, declared its equality with the National League, then the only major league in baseball. Johnson changed the name excuse me. Johnson changed the name of the league to the American League, leading teams in this league to be christened with the unofficial nickname Americans. This was especially true in the case of the new Boston franchise, which did not adopt an official nickname until 1908. The upstart league placed franchises in Baltimore, Maryland, and Buffalo. After a long look at his new league, Ban Johnson decided that he needed a team in Boston to compete with the National League team there, and so canceled the Buffalo Bills franchise, offering one to a new club in Boston. The Boston franchise was purchased in 1903 by Milwaukee publisher George Brumder, who sold the team 1 year later. Playing their home games at Huntington Avenue grounds, the Boston franchise finished second and third place, capturing their first pennant in 1903 and repeating the next year. Those teams were led by manager and star third baseman Jimmy Collins, outfielders Chick Stahl, Buck Freeman, and Patsy Doherty, and pitcher Cy Young, who in 1901 won the pitching Triple Crown with 33 wins, 41.8% of the team's 79 wins, a 1.62 ERA, and 150 strikeouts. His 1901 to 1904 seasons rank among the best 4-year runs ever. In 1903, Boston participated in the first modern World Series, going up against the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates were heavily favored as they had won the National League pennant by 6.5 games. Aided by modified chants of Tessie by the Royal Rooters fan club and by its stronger pitching staff, the Americans managed to overcome the odds and win the best-of-9 series 5-3. The 1904 club was almost as good as the previous team, but due to the surprise emergence of the New York Highlanders, the Boston club found itself in a tight pennant race through the last games of the season, a predecessor to what became a storied rivalry. This race featured such controversial moves as the trade of Patsy Doherty to the Highlanders for Bob Unglaub. The climax of the season occurred on the last dramatic doubleheader at the Highlanders' home stadium, Hilltop Park. In order to win the pennant, the Highlanders needed to win both games, with Jack Cheesebro, the Highlanders' 41-game winner, on the mound, and the score tied 2-2 with a man on third in the top of the ninth. A spitball got away from Cheesebro, and Lou Krieger scored the go-ahead run on one of the most famous wild pitches in history. The National League Championship New York Giants declined to play any postseason series, fearing it would give their New York rivals credibility. They had expected the Highlanders to win, but a sharp public reaction led the two leagues immediately to make the World Series a permanent championship starting in 1905. These successful times soon ended, however, as Boston lost 100 games in 1906. However, several new star players helped the newly renamed Red Sox improve almost immediately. By 1909, center fielder Trish Speaker had become a fixture in the Boston outfield, and the team worked their way to third place. However, the Red Sox did not win the pennant again until their 105-win 1912 season. Their .691 winning percentage in 1912 still stands as the best in team history, and their 105 wins stood as the club record for 106 years until the 2018 club won 108. Anchored by an outfield considered to be among the finest in the game. Tris Speaker, Harry Hooper, and Duffy Lewis, and superstar pitcher Smokey Joe Wood, the Red Sox beat the New York Giants 4-3 with one tie in the Classic. 1912 World Series, best known for Snodgrass's muff. From 1913 to 1916, the Red Sox were owned by Joseph Lannon, who signed Babe Ruth, soon the best known and one of the best players ever. Another 101 wins in 1915 propelled the Red Sox to the 1915 World Series, where they beat the Philadelphia Phillies 4-1 following the 1915 season. Tris Speaker was traded to the Cleveland Indians. His departure was more than compensated for, however, in the emergence of star pitcher Babe Ruth. The Red Sox went on to win the 1916 World Series, this time defeating the Brooklyn Robins. In 1918, Babe Ruth led his team to another World Series championship, this time over the Chicago Cubs. So the next section we have here is the sale of Babe Ruth and the aftermath from 1920 to 1938. So Harry Frazee bought the Red Sox from Joseph Lannon in 1916 for about $500,000. A couple of notable trades involving Harry Frazee and the Yankees occurred before the Babe Ruth sale. On December 18, 1918, outstanding outfielder Duffy Lewis, pitcher Dutch Leonard, who had posted a modern record 0.96 ERA in 1914, and pitcher Ernie Shore were traded to the Yankees for pitcher Ray Caldwell, Slim Love, Roxy Walters, Frank Gilhooly, and $15,000. As all three players were well regarded in Boston, Lewis had been a key player on the 1910s championship teams. Shore had famously relieved Babe Ruth and retired 27 straight, and Leonard, only 4 years before, had set a modern record for earned run average. This trade was regarded as a poor one in Boston. Then on July 13, 1919, submarine-style pitching star Carl Mays was traded to the Yankees for Bob McGraw, Alan Russell, and $40,000. Mays had several good years for the Yankees, but had been a discipline problem for the Red Sox. On December 26, 1919, Frazee sold Babe Ruth, who had played the previous 6 seasons for the Red Sox, to the rival New York Yankees. Ruth had just broken the single-season home run record by hitting 29 in 1919. Legend has it that Frazee did so in order to finance the Broadway play No, No, Nanette. That play did not actually open on Broadway until 1925, but as Leigh Montville discovered during the research for his book, The Big Bam, The Life and Times of Babe Ruth, No, No, Nanette had originated as a non-musical stage play called My Lady Friends, which opened on Broadway in December 1919. My Lady Friends had indeed been financed by the Ruth sale to the Yankees. During that period, the Red Sox, Yankees, and Chicago White Sox had a detente. They were called insurrectos because their actions antagonized league president Ban Johnson. Although Frazee owned the Boston Red Sox franchise, he did not own Fenway Park. It was owned by the Fenway Park Trust, making his ownership a precarious one. Johnson could move another team into the ballpark. His club was in debt, but Frazee felt he needed to purchase its playing site, which he did in 1920, further providing the Yankees with a box office attraction would help that mediocre club, which had sided with him against Johnson and the loyal 5 clubs. Finally, Ruth was considered a serious disciplinary problem, a reputation he amply confirmed while playing for the Yankees. Frazee moved Ruth to stabilize Red Sox finances and cut distractions. It was a straight sale, no players in return. New York achieved great success after acquiring Ruth and several other very good players. The sale of Babe Ruth came to be viewed as the beginning of the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry, considered the greatest rivalry on earth by American sports journalists. After deciding to get out of baseball, Frazee began selling many of his star players. In the winter of 1920, Wally Shang, Waite Hoyt, Harry Harper, and Mike McNally were traded to the Yankees for Del Pratt, Muddy Rule, John Costello, Frank Thermelheim, Sammy Vick, and Cash. The following winter, Ironman shortstop Everett Scott and pitchers Bullet Joe Bush and Sad Sam Jones were traded to the Yankees for Roger Peckinpah, who was immediately shipped to the Washington Senators, Jack Quinn, Rip Collins, Bill Percy, and $50,000. On July 23, 1922, Joe Duggan and Elmer Smith were traded to the Yankees for Elmer Miller, Chick Fuster, Johnny Mitchell, and Lefty O'Doul, who at the time was a mediocre pitching prospect. Acquiring Dugan helped the Yankees edge the St. Louis Browns in a tight permanent race, and the resulting uproar helped create a June 15th trading deadline that went into effect the next year. Perhaps an even more outrageous deal was the trade of Herb Pennock. Early in 1923, Pennock was traded by the Red Sox to the Yankees for Kemp Skinner, Norm Macmillan, George Murray, and $50,000. The loss of so much talent sent the Red Sox into free fall. Even with the money Frazee earned from the trades during the 1920s and 1930s, they were fixtures in the second division, never finishing closer than 20 games out of first. The losses only mounted when Frazee sold the team to Bob Quinn in 1923. During an 8-year period from 1925 to 1932, the Red Sox averaged over 100 losses per season, bottoming out in 1932 with a record of 43 and 111. Still the worst record in franchise history. One of the few bright spots of these teams was Earl Webb, who set the all-time mark for most doubles in a season in 1931 with 67. The Bo Sox fortunes began to change in 1933 when Tom Yawkey bought the team. Yawkey acquired pitcher Wes Farrell and one of the greatest pitchers of all time, Lefty Grove, making his team competitive once again in the late 30s. He also acquired Joe Cronin, an outstanding shortstop and manager, and slugging first baseman Jimmy Fox, whose 50 home runs in 1938 stood as a club record for 68 years. Fox also drove in a club record 175 runs. Let me take a peek at the chat real quick here. All right. I'm waving at my Red Sox at you, Don. LOL. NASCAR said he's back. How you doing there, NASCAR? All right. So nothing much changed since I looked at the chat last. So let's continue on. Now we're getting closer to a more present era. We're going to go through the 1939 to 1960s, what they called and labeled as the Ted Williams era. All right. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm going to get a sip of water here. Did something strange in our area today. The sun came out. We don't get this time of year. We don't get that see that yellow orb in the sky too often. All right. So in 1939, the Red Sox purchased the contract of outfielder Ted Williams from the minor league San Diego Padres of the Pacific Coast League, ushering in an era of the team sometimes called the Ted Sox. Williams consistently hit for both high power and high average, and is generally considered one of the greatest hitters of all time. The right field bullpens in Fenway were built in part for Williams's left-handed swing, and are sometimes called Williamsburg. Before this addition, it was over 400 feet, 120 meters to right field. He served 2 stints in the United States Marine Corps as a pilot and saw active duty in both World War II and the Korean War, missing at least 5 full seasons of baseball. His book, The Science of Hitting, is widely read by students of baseball. He is currently the last player to hit over 400 for a full season, batting .406 in 1941. Williams feuded with sports writers his whole career, calling them the Knights of the Keyboard, and his relationship with the fans was often rocky, as he was seen splitting towards the stands on more than one occasion. With Williams, the Red Sox reached the 1946 World Series but lost to the St. Louis Cardinals in 7 games, in part because of the use of the Williams shift, a defensive tactic in which the shortstop moves to the right side of the infield to make it harder for the left-handed hitting Williams to hit to that side of the field. Some have claimed that he was too proud to hit to the other side of the field, not wanting to let the Cardinals take away his game. His performance may have also been affected by a pitch he took in the elbow in an exhibition game a few years earlier. Either way, in his only World Series, Williams gathered just 5 singles in 25 at-bats for a .200 average. The Cardinals won the 1946 series when Enos Slaughter scored the go-ahead run all the way from first base on a base hit to left field. The throw then from Leon Culberson was cut off by shortstop Johnny Pesky, who relayed the ball to the plate just a hair too late. Some say Pesky hesitated or held the ball before he turned to throw the ball, but this has been disputed. Along with Williams and Pesky, the Red Sox featured several other star players during the 1940s, including second baseman Bobby Doerr, the center fielder Dom DiMaggio, the younger brother of Joe DiMaggio. The Red Sox narrowly lost the American League pennant in 1948-1949. In 1948, Boston finished in a tie with Cleveland, and their loss to Cleveland in a 1-game playoff ended hopes of an all-Boston World Series. Curiously, manager Joseph McCarthy chose journeyman Denny Galehouse to start the playoff game when the young lefty phenom Mel Parnell was available to pitch. In 1949, the Red Sox were 1 game ahead of the New York Yankees, with only 2 games left for both teams being against each other, and they lost both of those games. The 1950s were viewed as a time of tribulation for the Red Sox after Williams returned from the Korean War in 1953. Many of the best players from the late 1940s had retired or been traded. The stark contrast in the team led critics to call the Red Sox daily lineup Ted Williams and the Seven Dwarfs. Jackie Robinson was even worked out by the team at Fenway Park. However, owner Tom Yawkey did not want an African-American player on his team. Willie Mays also tried out for Boston and was highly praised by team scouts. In 1955, Frank Malzone debuted at third base, and Ted Williams hit .388 at the age of 38 in 1957. But there was little else for Boston fans to root for. Williams retired at the end of 1960 season, famously hitting a home run in his final at-bat, as memorialized in the John Updike story, Hub Fans by Kid Adu. The Red Sox finally became the last major league team to field an African-American player when they promoted infielder Pomsey Green from their AAA team in 1959. All right. Let me look over in the chat again real quick. Opachi TV, how you doing? See, you just jumped in here a couple minutes ago. Thanks for stopping by. Dearman's in the house. How you doing, everybody? Nice to have you with us, Dearman. Nice to see you again. Don't get to see you too much anymore. But thanks for hopping in here. All right, the 1960s. Yaz and the Impossible Dream. The 1960s also started poorly for the Red Sox though 1961 saw the debut of Carl Yaz Yastrzemski, Williams' replacement in left field, who developed into one of the better hitters of a pitching-rich decade. Our Posada's in the house. Paul D's here too. All right, we're up to 10 people. We made it up to double digits. So the Red Sox fans know 1967 as the season of the Impossible Dream. The slogan refers to the hit song from the popular musical The Man of La Mancha. 1967 saw one of the great pennant races in baseball, with 4 teams in the American League pennant race until almost the last game. The Bo Sox had finished the 1966 season in 9th place, but they found new life with Yastrzemski as the team won the pennant to reach the 1967 World Series. Yastrzemski won the American League Triple Crown, the most recent player to accomplish such a feat until Miguel Cabrera did so in 2012, hitting .326 with 44 home runs and 121 runs batted in. He was named the league's most valuable player, just 1 vote shy of a unanimous selection, as a Minnesota sports writer placed the Twins center fielder Cesar Tovar first on his ballot. But the Red Sox lost the series to the St. Louis Cardinals in 7 games. The Cardinals pitcher Bob Gibson stymied the Red Sox, winning 3 games. The 18-year-old Bostonian rookie named Tony Congliera slugged 24 home runs in 1964. Tony C. became the youngest player in Major League Baseball to hit his 100th home run, a record that stands today. He was struck just above the left cheekbone by a fastball thrown by Jack Hamilton of the California Angels on Friday, August 18, 1967, and sat out the entire next season with headaches and blurred vision. Although he did have a productive season in 1970, he was never the same after that injury. The 1970s, the Red Hat era. Although the Red Sox were competitive for much of the late 60s and early 70s, they never finished higher than second place in their division. The closest they came to a divisional title was 1972, when they lost by half a game to the Detroit Tigers. The start of the season was delayed by a players' strike, and the Red Sox had lost 1 more game to the strike than the Tigers had. Games lost to the strike were not made up. The Red Sox went to Detroit with a half-game lead for the final series of the season, but lost the first 2 of those 3 and were eliminated from the pennant race. So then we have 1975. The Red Sox won the American League pennant that year. The 1975 Red Sox were as colorful as they were talented, with Yastrzemski, the rookie infielders Jim Rice and Fred Lynn, veteran outfielder Dwight Evans, catcher Carlton Fisk, and pitchers Luis Tiant and eccentric junk baller Bill the Spaceman Lee. Fred Lynn won both the American League Rookie of the Year award and the Most Valuable Player award, a feat which had never previously been accomplished and was not duplicated until Ichiro Suzuki did it in 2001. In the 1975 American League Championship Series, the Red Sox swept the Oakland A's. In the 1975 World Series, they faced the heavily favored Cincinnati Reds, also known as the Big Red Machine. Luis Tiant won 1 and 4 of the World Series, but after 5 games, the Red Sox trailed the series 3-2. Game 6 at Fenway Park is considered among the greatest games in postseason history. Down 6-3 in the bottom of the 8th inning, Red Sox pinch hitter Bernie Carbo hit a 3-run homer into the center field bleachers off the Reds fireman Raleigh Eastwick to tie the game, and in the top of the 11th inning, right fielder Dwight Evans made a spectacular catch of a Joe Morgan line drive and doubled off Ken Griffey at first base to preserve the tie. In the bottom of the 12th inning, Carlton Fisk hit a deep fly ball which sliced toward the left field foul pole above the Green Monster. As the ball sailed into the night, Fisk waved his arms frantically toward the fair territory, seemingly pleading with the ball not to go foul. The ball complied, and bedlam ensued in Fenway as Fisk rounded the bases to win the game for the Red Sox 7-6. The Red Sox lost Game 7 4-3, even though they had an early 3-0 lead. Starting pitcher Bill Lee threw a slow looping curve, which he called a leafus pitch or space ball, to Reds first baseman Tony Perez, who hit the ball over the Green Monster and across the street. The Reds scored the winning run in the 9th inning. Carlton Fisk said famously about the 1975 World Series, we won that thing 3-4. All right, look in the chat real quick here. Now I just need to have a good year. Hey there, Dearman. Hope you're doing well. Prasada. Doctor's appointment. Hit the like button. Yeah, that's right. Thanks there, Paul D. Give me that thumbs up. Hit the like button in the stream. Should be doing pretty good. We've got 10 thumbs up. 9 people in the stream. I know we did have... now we're back up to double digits. All right, but that's okay. All right. Let's get into the 1978 pennant race now. In 1978, the Red Stockings and the Yankees were involved in a tight pennant race. The Yankees were 14.5 games behind the Red Sox in July, and on September 10th, after completing a 4-game sweep of the Red Sox known as the Boston Massacre, the Yankees tied for the divisional lead. On September 16th, the Yankees held a 3.5-game lead over the Red Sox, but the Sox won 11 of their next 13 games, and by the final day of the season, the Yankees' magic number to win the division was 1. With a win over Cleveland or Boston and a loss to the Toronto Blue Jays, clinching the division. However, New York lost 9-2 and Boston won 5-0, forcing a 1-game playoff to be held in Fenway Park on Monday, October 2nd. The most remembered moment from the game was Bucky Dent's 7th inning 3-run home run off Mike Torres just over the Green Monster, giving the Yankees their first lead. The dejected Boston manager Don Zimmer gave Mr. Dent a new middle name which lives in Boston sports lore to this day, uttering 3 words as the ball sailed over the left field wall: Bucky Blanken Dent. Reggie Jackson provided a solo home run in the 8th that proved to be the difference in the Yankees' 5-4 win, which ended with Yastrzemski popping out to Greg Nettles in foul territory, with Rick Burleson representing the tying run at third. Although Dent became a Red Sox demon, the Red Sox got retribution in 1990 when the Yankees fired Dent as their manager during a series at Fenway Park. So then we have the 1986 World Series and Game 6. Kaz is wasting money is in the house. Just looked over there, Kaz. Thanks for popping in here and saying hi, visiting us today. Haven't seen you in a while there, Kaz. Hopefully you have been doing well, sir. All right. So Carl Yastrzemski retired after the 1983 season, during which the Red Sox finished 6th in the 7-team American League East, posting their worst record since 1966. However, in 1986, it appeared that the team's fortunes were about to change. The offense had remained strong with Jim Rice, Dwight Evans, Don Baylor, and Wade Boggs. Roger Clemens led the pitching staff, going 24-4 with a 2.48 ERA and had a 20 strikeout game to win both the American League Cy Young and the Most Valuable Player awards. Clemens became the first starting pitcher to win both awards since Vida Blue in 1971. Despite spending a month and a half on the disabled list in the middle of the season, left-hander Bruce Hurst went 13-8, striking out 167 and pitching 4 shutout games. Boston sports writers that season compared Clemens and Hurst to Don Drysdale and Sandy Koufax from the 1960s Los Angeles Dodgers. The Red Sox won the American League East for the first time in 11 seasons and faced the California Angels in the ALCS. The team split the first 2 games in Boston, but the Angels won the next 2 home games, taking a 3-1 lead in the series. With the Angels poised to win the series, the Red Sox trailed 5-2 heading into the 9th inning of Game 5. A 2-run homer by Baylor cut the lead to 1. With 2 outs and a runner on and 1 strike away from elimination, Dave Henderson homered off Donnie Moore to put Boston up 6-5. Although the Angels tied the game in the bottom of the 9th, the Red Sox won in the 11th on a Henderson sacrifice fly off Moore. The Red Sox then found themselves within 6 and 7-run wins at Fenway Park in Game 6 and 7 to win the American League title. The Red Sox faced a heavily favored New York Mets team that won 108 games in the regular season in 1986. Boston won the first 2 games in Shea Stadium, but lost the next 2 at Fenway, knotting the series at 2 games apiece. After Bruce Hurst recorded his record victory in the series in Game 5, the Red Sox returned to Shea Stadium, looking to garner their first championship in 68 years. However, Game 6 became one of the most devastating losses in club history. After pitching 7 strong innings, Clemens was lifted from the game with a 3-2 lead. Years later, manager John McNamara said Clemens was suffering from a blister and had asked to be taken out of the game, a claim Clemens denied. The Mets then scored a run off reliever and former Met Calvin Girardi to tie the score 3-3. The game went to extra innings where the Red Sox took a 5-3 lead in the top of the 10th. On a solo home run by Henderson, a double by Boggs, and an RBI single by second baseman Marty Barrett. After recording 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th, a graphic appeared on the NBC telecast hailing Barrett as the player of the game and Bryce Hurst as the most valuable player of the World Series. A message even appeared briefly on the Shea Stadium scoreboard congratulating the Red Sox as world champions. After so many years of abject frustration, Red Sox fans around the world could taste victory. With the count at 2 balls and 1 strike, Mets catcher Gary Carter hit a single. It was followed by singles by Kevin Mitchell and Ray Knight. With Mookie Wilson batting, a wild pitch by Bob Stanley tied the game at 5. Wilson then hit a slow ground ball to first. The ball rolled through Buckner's legs, allowing Knight to score and the winning run from second. While Buckner was singled out as responsible for the loss, many observers, as well as both Wilson and Buckner, have noted that even if Buckner had fielded the ball cleanly, the speedy Wilson probably would have still been safe, leaving the game-winning run at third with 2 out. Many observers questioned why Buckner was in the game at that point, considering he had bad knees, and that Dave Stapleton had come in a late-inning defense replacement in prior series games. It appeared as though McNamara was trying to reward Buckner for his long and illustrious career by leaving him in the game. After falling behind 3-0, the Mets then won Game 7, concluding the devastating collapse and feeding the myth that the Red Sox were cursed. The World Series loss had a strange twist. Red Sox general manager Lou Gorman was vice president, player personnel of the Mets from 1980 to 1983. Working under Mets general manager Frank Cashen, with Gorman served with the Orioles. He helped lay the foundation for the Mets championship. So in 1988 and 1990 through 1991, Morgan Magic. All right, the Red Sox returned to the postseason in 1988 with the club in fourth place midway through the 1988 season. At the All-Star break, manager John McNamara was fired and replaced by Walpole resident and longtime minor league manager Joe Morgan on July 15th. The club immediately won 12 games in a row and 19 of 20 overall to surge to the American League East title that was called the Morgan Magic. But the magic was short-lived as the team was swept by the Oakland Athletics in the ALCS. The most valuable player of that series was former Red Sox pitcher and Baseball Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley, who saved all 4 wins for Oakland. 2 years later, in 1990, the Red Sox again won the division and faced the Athletics in the ALCS. However, the outcome was the same, with the Athletics sweeping the ALCS in 4 straight. In 1990, Yankees fans started to chant 1918 to taunt the Red Sox. The demeaning chant echoed at Yankee Stadium each time the Red Sox were there. Also, Fenway Park became the scene of Bucky Dent's worst moment as manager, although it was where he had his greatest triumph. In June, when the Red Sox swept the Yankees during a 4-game series at Fenway Park, the Yankees fired Dent as their manager. Red Sox fans felt retribution to Dent being fired on their field, but the Yankees used him as a scapegoat. However, Dan Shaughnessy of the Boston Globe severely criticized Yankees owner George Steinbrenner for firing Dent, his 18th managerial change in as many years since becoming owner in Boston, and said he should have waited until the Yankees got to Baltimore to fire Dent. He said that if Dent had been fired in Seattle or Milwaukee, this would have been just another event in an endless line of George's jettisons. But it happened in Boston, and the nightly news had its hook. The firing was only special because it was the first time a Yankee manager, who was also a Red Sox demon, was purged on the ancient Indian burial grounds of the Back Bay. However, Bill Pennington called the firing of Dent merciless. All right, let me check the chat here real quick. Aaron Kinsley, thanks for jumping in here with us there, Aaron. Do appreciate you being here. All right. So in 1992 through 2001, mixed results. So Tom Yawkey died in 1976, and his wife, Jean R. Yawkey, took control of the team until her death in 1992. Their initials are shown in 2 stripes on the infield wall and in Morse code. Upon Jean's death, control of the team passed to the Yawkey Trust, led by John Harrington. The trust sold the team in 2002, concluding 70 years of Yawkey ownership. In 1994, the general manager, Lou Gorman, was replaced by Dan Duquette, a Massachusetts native who had worked for the Montreal Expos. Duquette revived the team's farm system, which during his tenure produced players such as Nomar Garcia Parra, Carl Pavano, and David Erickson. Duquette also spent money on free agents, notably an 8-year, $160 million deal for Manny Ramirez after the 2000 series. The Red Sox won the newly realigned American League East in 1995, finishing 7 games ahead of the Yankees. However, they were swept in 3 games in the ALDS by the Cleveland Indians. Their postseason losing streak reached 13 straight games, dating back to the 1986 World Series. Roger Clemens tied his major league record by fanning 20 Detroit Tigers on September 18, 1996, in one of his final appearances in a Red Sox uniform. After Clemens had turned 30 and then had 4 seasons, the 1993 through 1996 years, which were his standards mediocre at best, Duquette said the pitcher was entering the twilight of his career. Clemens went on to pitch well for another 10 years and win 4 more Cy Young awards. Out of contention, in 1997, the team traded closer Heathcliff Slocum to Seattle for catching prospect Jason Varitek and right-handed pitcher Derek Lowe. Prior to the start of the 1998 season, the Red Sox dealt pitchers Tony Armas Jr. and Carl Pavano to the Montreal Expos for pitcher Pedro Martinez. Martinez became an anchor of the team's pitching staff and turned in several outstanding seasons. In 1998, the team won the American League wild card, but again lost the American League Division Series to the Indians. In 1999, Duquette called Fenway Park economically obsolete, and along with the Red Sox ownership led a push for a new stadium. On the field, the 1999 Red Sox were finally able to overturn their fortunes against the Indians. Cleveland took a 2-0 series lead, but Boston won the next 3 games behind the strong pitching by Derek Lowe, Pedro Martinez, and his brother Raymond Martinez. Game 4's 23-7 win by the Red Sox was the highest scoring playoff game in Major League history. Game 5 began with the Indians taking a 5-2 lead after 2 innings, but Pedro Martinez, nursing a shoulder injury, came on in the 4th inning and pitched 6 innings without a hit, while the team's offensive rallied 12-8 to win behind 2 home runs and 7 runs batted in from outfielder Troy O'Leary. After the ALDS victory, the Red Sox lost the American League Championship Series to the Yankees, 4-1. The one bright spot was a lopsided win for the Red Sox in the much-hyped Martinez-Clemens game. So in 2002 to present, the John Henry era. All right, in 2002 and 2003. In 2002, the Boston Red Sox were sold by Yawkey trustees and President Harrington to New England sports venues. A consortium headed by principal owner John Henry. Tom Werner served as executive chairman. Larry Luciano served as president and CEO, and served as vice chairman was Les Otten, and Dan Duquette was fired as general manager of the club on February 28th, with former Angels GM Mike Port taking the helm for the 2002 season. A week later, manager Joe Kerrigan was fired and was replaced by Grady Little. While nearly all off-season moves were made under Duquette, such as signing outfielder Johnny Damon away from the Oakland Athletics, the new ownership made additions such as outfielder Cliff Floyd and relief pitcher Alan Embry. Nomar Garciaparra, Manny Ramirez, and Floyd all hit well. While Pedro Martinez put up his usual outstanding numbers, Derek Lowe, newly converted into a starter, won 20 games, becoming the first player to save 20 games and win 20 games in back-to-back seasons. After failing to reach the playoffs, Port was replaced by Yale University graduate Theo Epstein. Epstein, raised in Brookline, Massachusetts, and just 28 at the time of his hiring, became the youngest general manager in MLB history. The 2003 team was known as the Cowboy Up Team, a nickname derived from the first baseman Kevin Millar's challenge to his teammate to show more determination. In the 2003 American League Division Series, the Red Sox rallied from a 0-2 series deficit against the Athletics to win the best-of-5 series. Derek Lowe returned to his former relief pitching role to save Game 5 with a 4-3 victory. The team then faced the Yankees in the 2003 American League Championship Series. In Game 7, Boston led 5-2 in the 8th inning, but Pedro Martinez allowed 3 runs to tie the game. The Red Sox could not score Mariano Rivera over the last 3 innings and eventually lost Game 6. The game 6-5 when Yankee third baseman Aaron Boone hit a solo home run off of Tim Wakefield. Some placed the blame for the loss on manager Grady Little for failing to remove starting pitcher Martinez in the 8th inning after some observers believe he began to show signs of tiring. Others credited Little with the team's successful season and dramatic come-from-behind victory in the ALDS. Nevertheless, Boston's management did not renew Little's contract and hired former Philadelphia Phillies manager Terry Francona. The Idiots, the 2004 World Series Championship. During the 2003-2004 offseason, the Red Sox acquired another ace pitcher, Curt Schilling, and closer, Keith Foulke. Due to some mid-season struggles with injuries, management shook up the team at the July 31st trading deadline as part of a 4-team trade. The Red Sox traded the team's popular yet often injured shortstop Nomar Garcia-Parra and outfielder Matt Merton to the Chicago Cubs and received first baseman Doug Mitowitz from the Minnesota Twins and shortstop Orlando Cabrera from the Montreal Expos in a separate transaction. The Red Sox acquired center fielder Dave Roberts from the Los Angeles Dodgers. Following the trades, the club won 22 out of 25 games, qualified for the playoffs as the American League wild card. Players and fans affectionately referred to the players as the Idiots, the term coined by Damon and Miller during the playoff push to describe the team's eclectic roster and devil-may-care attitude toward their supposed curse. Boston began the postseason by sweeping the American League West champion Anaheim Angels in the ALDS. In the third game of the series, David Ortiz hit a walk-off 2-run homer in the 10th inning to win the game and the series to advance to a rematch of the previous year's ALCS in the ALCS against the Yankees. The ALCS started very poorly for the Red Sox, as they lost the first 3 games, including a crushing 19-8 home loss game in Game 3. In Game 4, the Red Sox found themselves facing elimination, trailing 4-3 in the 9th, with Mariano Rivera in the close for the Yankees. After Rivera issued a walk to Miller, Roberts came up to pinch run and promptly stole second base. He then scored on an RBI single by Bill Mueller, sending the game into extra innings. The Red Sox went on to win the game 6-4 on a 2-run home run by Ortiz in the 12th inning. The odds were still very much against the Red Sox in the series, but Ortiz also made the walk-off hit in the 14th inning of Game 5. The comeback continued with a victory from an injured Schilling in Game 6. 3 sutures being used to stabilize the tendon in Schilling's right ankle that bled throughout the game, famously making his sock appear bloody red. With it, Boston became the first team in MLB history to force a series-deciding Game 7 after trailing 3-0 in games. The Red Sox completed their historic comeback in Game 7 with a 10-3 victory over the Yankees. Ortiz began the scoring with a 2-run homer, along with his game-winning runs batted in during Games 4 and 5. He was named ALCS Most Valuable Player. The Red Sox joined the 1942 Toronto Maple Leafs and 1975 New York Islanders as the only North American professional sports teams in history at the time to win a best-of-7 game series after being down 3-0. The 2010 Philadelphia Flyers and the 2014 Los Angeles Kings would later accomplish that feat. The Red Sox swept the St. Louis Cardinals in 2004 World Series, and the Red Sox never trailed throughout the series. Mark Bellhorn hit a game-winning home run off Pesky's pole in Game 1, and Schilling pitched another bloodied Sox victory in Game 2, followed by similarly masterful pitching performance by Martinez and Derek Lowe. It was the Red Sox's first championship in 86 years. Manny Ramirez was named World Series MVP to add a final surreal touch to Boston's championship season. On the night of Game 4, a total lunar eclipse colored the moon red over Busch Stadium. The Red Sox earned many accolades from the sports media throughout their nation for their season, such as December when the Sports Illustrated named the Boston Red Sox in the 2004 Sportsman of the Year. Take a peek in the chat and get a sip of water here. Bobby Catalano's in the house. How you doing, Bobby? Nice to have you join us this morning there, Bobby. I think you brought us back up to double digits. All right, next we have, of course, the 2007 World Series Championship. The 2005 American League East was decided on the last weekend of the season, with the Yankees coming to Fenway Park with a 1-game lead in the standings. Astros McGee's in the house. There we go. The Red Sox won 2 of the 3 games to finish the season with the same record as the Yankees, 95 and 67. However, a playoff was not needed, as the loser of such a playoff would still make the playoffs as a wild card team. As the Yankees won the season series, they were awarded the division title, and the Red Sox competed in the playoffs as the wild card team. Boston failed to defend their championship and was swept in 3 games by the eventual 2005 World Series champion Chicago White Sox in the first round of the playoffs. In 2006, David Ortiz broke Jimmy Foxx's single-season Red Sox home run record by hitting 54 home runs. However, Boston failed to make the playoffs after compiling a 9-21 record in the month of August due to several injuries in club rosters. Theo Epstein's first step awarded restocking the team for 2007 was to pursue one of the most anticipated acquisitions in baseball history. On November 14th, Major League Baseball announced that Boston had won the bid for the rights to negotiate a contract with Japanese Nippon Professional Baseball superstar pitcher Daisuke Matsuzaka. Boston placed a bid of $51.1 million to negotiate with Matsuzaka and completed a 6-year deal. a 6-year, $52 million contract after they were announced as the winning bid. The Red Sox moved into first place in the American League East by mid-April and never relinquished the division lead. Initially, rookie second baseman Dustin Pedroia underperformed, hitting below 200 in April. Manager Terry Francona refused to bench him, and his patience paid off as Pedroia eventually won the American League Rookie of the Year award for his performance that season, which included 165 hits and a .317 batting average. On the mound, Josh Beckett emerged as the ace of the staff with his first 20-win season, as fellow starting pitchers Schilling, Matsuzaka, Wakefield, and Julian Tavares all struggled at home. Relief pitcher Hideki Okajima, another recent arrival from the NPB, posted an ERA of .88 through the first half and was selected for the All-Star game. Okajima finished the season with a 2.22 ERA and 5 saves, emerging as one of baseball's top relievers. Minor league call-up Clay Buchholz provided a spark on September 1st by pitching a no-hitter in his second career start. The Red Sox captured their first American League East title since 1995. The Red Sox swept the Angels in the ALDS, facing the Cleveland Indians in the ALCS. The Red Sox fell in games 2, 3, and 4 before Beckett picked up the second victory of the series in Game 5, starting a comeback. The Red Sox captured their 12th American League pennant by outscoring the Indians 30-5 over the final 3 games. The Red Sox faced the Colorado Rockies in the 2007 World Series and swept the Rockies in 4 games. In Game 4, Wakefield gave up his spot in the rotation to a recovered John Lester, who gave the Red Sox an impressive start, pitching 5 2/3 shutout innings. Key home runs late in the game by third baseman Mike Lowell. Bobby Kelly secured the Red Sox second title in 4 years, as Lowell was named the most valuable player in the World Series. So through 2008 and 2012, injuries and collapses. The Red Sox began their season by participating in the third opening day game in MLB history to be played in Japan, where they defeated the Oakland A's in the Tokyo Dome. On May 19th, John Lester threw the 18th no-hitter in team history, defeating the Kansas City Royals 7-0. Down the stretch, outfielder Manny Ramirez became embroiled in controversy surrounding the public incidents with fellow players and other team employees, as well as criticism of ownership in not playing, which some claimed was due to laziness and non-existent injuries. The front office decided to move the disgruntled outfielder at the July 31st trade deadline, shipping him to the Dodgers in a 3-way deal with the Pittsburgh Pirates that landed them Jason Bay to replace him in left field. With Ramirez gone, the Bay providing a new spark in the lineup, the Red Sox improved vastly and made the playoffs as the American League wild card. The Red Sox defeated the Angels in the 2008 ALDS 3-1. The Red Sox then took on their AL East rivals, Tampa Bay Rays, in the ALCS. Down 3-1 in the 5th game of the ALCS, Boston mounted a comeback from trailing 7-0 in the 7th inning to win 8-7. They tied the series at 3 games apiece with a Game 6 victory before losing Game 7 3-1, thus becoming the 8th team in a row since 2000 to fail to repeat as world champions. The Red Sox returned to postseason play in 2009, but were swept in the ALDS by the Los Angeles Angels. In 2010, they placed third in the division and failed to make the playoffs. In 2011, Boston Red Sox collapsed, becoming the first team in MLB history to blow a 9-game lead in the division by heading into September as they went 7-20 in the final month and failed to make the playoff berth. In December 2011, Bobby Valentine was hired as a new manager. The 2012 season marked the centennial of Fenway Park, and on April 20th, past and present Red Sox players and coaches assembled to celebrate the park's anniversary. However, the collapse that they endured in September 2011 carried over into the season. The Red Sox struggled throughout the season due to injuries, inconsistent play, and off-field news. They finished the 69-93 for their first losing season since 1997, and their worst season since 1965. Let me take a peek here at the chat. All right. Nothing too late breaking in there that I can see. You guys just talking to each other. All right. Getting closer here. Boston strong in 2013 World Series champions. So Boston, which finished last in the American League East with 69-93, recorded in 2012, 26 games behind the Yankees, became the 11th team in Major League history to go from worst in the division to first the next season, when it clinched the AL East division title on September 20th, 2013. Many credit a team's turnaround with the hiring of manager John Farrell, the former Red Sox pitching coach under Terry Francona from 2007 to 2010. As a former member of the staff, he had the respect of influential players such as Lester, Pedroia, and Ortiz. But there were other moves made in the offseason by general manager Ben Cherington, who targeted this doesn't sound right, character players to fill the team's needs. These acquisitions included veteran catcher David Ross, Johnny Gomes, Mike Napoli, and Shane Victoroni. While some questioned these players as retreads, it was clear that Cherington was trying to move past 2011-2012 by bringing in clubhouse players. Essential to the turnaround, however, was the pitching staff, with ace veteran John Lackey coming off Tommy John surgery, and both John Lester and Chris Bullock returning to their prior form. This allowed the team to rely less on their bullpen. Everything seemed in danger of collapsing. However, when both closers, John Haranahan and Billy Bailey, went down early with season-ending injuries, Farrell gave the closing job to Koji Uehara on June 21st, who delivered with a 1.09 ERA and an MLB record of .565 whip. On September 11th, the 37-year-old right-hander set a new Red Sox record when he retired 33 straight batters. Other reasons include the trade deadline acquisition of pitcher Jake Peavy when the Red Sox were in second place in the American League East, the depth of the bench with players such as Mike Karp and rookies Jackie Bradley Jr. and Xander Bogaerts, and the reemergence of players such as Will Middlebrooks and Daniel Nava. On September 28, 2013, the team secured home field advantage throughout the American League playoffs when their closest competitions, the Oakland Athletics, lost. The next day, the team finished the season going 97-65, the best record in the American League, and tied with the St. Louis Cardinals for the best record in baseball. They proceeded to defeat the St. Louis Cardinals in the 2013 World Series, 4-2. The Red Sox became the first team since 1991 Minnesota Twins to win the World Series a year after finishing in last place and second overall. The 2012 Red Sox 426 winning percentage was the lowest for a team in a season prior to a World Series championship. So throughout the season, the Red Sox players and organization formed a close association with the city of Boston and its people in relation to the Boston Marathon bombings. That occurred on April 15, 2013. On April 20th, the day after the alleged bombers were captured, David Ortiz gave a pregame speech following a ceremony honoring the victims and the local law enforcement, in which he stated, "This is our city, and nobody is going to dictate our freedom. Stay strong." For the entirety of the season, the team wore an additional arm patch that exhibited the Red Sox B logo and the word "strong" with a blue circle. The team also hung up in their dugout a custom jersey that read "Boston Strong" with the number 617 representing the city of Boston's area code. On many occasions during the season, the victims of the attack and law enforcement involved were given the honor of throwing the ceremonial first pitch. Following their victory in 2013 World Series, the first one clinched at home in Fenway Park since 1918, the Red Sox players Johnny Gomes and Jared Staltamacchia performed a ceremony during the team's traditional duck boat victory parade, in which they placed the World Series trophy and the custom 617 jersey on the Boston Marathon finish line on Boylston Street, followed by a moment of silence and a singing of "God Bless America." The ceremony helped the city reclaim its spirits that was lost after the bombing. Overall, the Red Sox team and organization played a role in the healing process after the tragedy, owing the team's unifying effect on the city. So then we have 2014 to 2017. Following the 2013 championship, the team finished last in the American League East during the 2014 season with a record of 71-91, and again in 2015 with a record of 78-84. On September 12, 2015, David Ortiz hit his 500th career home run off of Matt Moore in Tropicana Field, becoming the 27th player in MLB history to achieve that prestigious milestone. In November 2015, Ortiz announced that the 2016 season was to be his last. The Red Sox had a record of 93-69 and won their division in 2016 with 6 American League All-Stars, the American League Cy Young Award winner in Rick Porcello, and the runner-up for the American League Most Valuable Player Award, Mookie Betts. Rookie Andrew Benintendi established himself in the Red Sox outfield, and Steve Wright emerged as one of the year's biggest surprises. The Red Sox grabbed the lead in the American League East early and held on to it throughout the year, which included many teams honoring Ortiz throughout the season. Despite the success, the team lost 5 of their last 6 games of the regular season and were swept in the ALDS by the eventual American League champion Cleveland Indians. The Red Sox once again finished with a record of 93-69 in 2017 and repeated as division champions. The team went 5-5 in their last 10 regular season games and were eliminated by the Houston Astros in the ALDS in 4 games. The Red Sox subsequently fired manager John Farrell and hired Alex Cora, signing him to a 3-year deal. So then we have the damages were done 2018 World Series Championship. The Red Sox finished with a 108-54 record, which is a .667 winning percentage record, winning the American League East Division title for the 3rd consecutive season, 8 games ahead of the second-place New York Yankees, and were the first team to clinch a berth in the 2018 postseason. The Red Sox surpassed the 100-win mark for the first time since 1946, broke the franchise record of 105 wins that had been set in 1912, and won the most games of any MLB team since the 2001 Seattle Mariners won 116 games. The 2018 Red Sox were highlighted by All-Stars Mookie Betts, J.D. Martinez, Chris Sale, and Craig Kimbrell. Betts led baseball in batting average and slugging percentage, while Martinez led in runs batted in. Sale tossed only 158 innings due to a shoulder injury late in the year, but was otherwise superb, posting a 2.11 earned run average to go along with 237 strikeouts. Kimbrell saved 42 games and struck out 96 batters. The Red Sox entered the postseason as the top seed in the American League and defeated the Yankees in 4 games in the division series. And then next they defeated the defending champion Houston Astros in 5 games in the League Championship Series. Boston then defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers in 5 games in the World Series for the team's 4th championship in 15 years and 9th in franchise history. The team's motto during the season, "Do no damage," became "damage done" upon their victory. So then we had in 2019, despite retaining most players from the 2018 championship team, the 2019 Red Sox won 24 fewer games, finishing 3rd in the division and missing the playoff for the first time since 2015. President of Baseball Operations Dave Dombrowski was dismissed following a September loss to the Yankees. On October 25, 2019, the Red Sox hired Chaim Bloom to be their next president of baseball operations. So in 2020, on January 7th of this year, the Red Sox were found to use the replay room to steal signs to use as an advantage during the 2018 season. So on January 15th, the Red Sox manager Alex Cora agreed to mutually part ways after his role in the Houston Astros sign stealing scandal. So as far as awards for Major League awards voted by the Baseball Writers Association, the Red Sox players have won the MVP award 12 times, most recently by Mookie Betts in 2018, the Cy Young Award 7 times, most recently by Rick Porcello in 2016, and Rookie of the Year 6 times, most recently by Dustin Pedroia in 2007, and Manager of the Year twice, most recently by Jimmy Williams in 1999. So there we have it in a nutshell, the history of the Boston Red Sox. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let's see, did I miss anything here? Thanks, Posada. It's a whole new channel. So yeah, I know you've changed a lot of things there, Hatstros. Really looking nice over there. Our Posada's giving me a thumbs up. Thumbs up. I got 14, but there's only 6 in the stream. That's okay. I know usually sometimes I do lose some people, but we're going to go ahead and get ready to pretty much finish things off here. We're going to go ahead and get ready to open up this this hot corner box here. Let me move these out of the way real quick here. I don't want to reach over and try and put them away, but I'll just move them out of the way for now. I do have some stands on the ready if we do get some good hits here. We'll see what we do find out of this hot box. Hopefully you guys are having a great day out there. Hopefully you are. I'm going to go ahead and, what do we got here? It is 12 o'clock. I got to get rolling soon, so we'll get this hot box opened up. See what we can find here. Let me, just wanted to get my computer ready here. So yeah, this, in case you guys are wondering, this is a hot box. I know you've probably seen people open these. I got these particular, I got 2 hot boxes. I got another one I'll open up later on down the road. But you can get these. I got these 2 at Target. So I'm going to open up this one here right now. This box is guaranteed to contain 1 hobby pack, 2 hits, 4 total card packs. So one of the 4 packs will be the hobby pack. And you're supposed to get 2 hits, which is usually either a autograph or relic type card, basically, from what I've seen people pull out. So we will see what we get out of this box here. This item is electronically protected. Yeah, when you do go through and go out through the checkout counter, they deactivate these so you can leave out the store. But I'm gonna just scoot that out of the way real quick. Open from the bottom here. It's what I've noticed on the Fairfields is the best way to open the product is through the bottom. This one is 18 July 2019. So it was packaged up last year. Okay. And looks like we've got possibly the 2 hits on the bottom here. All right. That empties out the box there. There's our hobby pack right on top there. I'll probably leave them there where it is for now. So we've got the hobby pack. Looks like here we've got a let's see, can I see the year on here somewhere? It's hiding. I know it's hiding. I think this is a 1988 Donruss. And then we've got a 2019 Heritage Baseball and a 2019 Gypsy Queen. So that's not too bad. And looks like we got our 2 hits under there. We'll wait until we get to the bottom there. Or do you guys want me to do the hits right now? Oh, okay. You take care there, Posada. Alright. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and just open up these packs. I'll do the, let's see. Maybe I can do the hobby. I'll do the hobby pack last. Let's see if I can. There we go. I'll do the hobby pack last. That way, yeah, we'll do the hobby pack last because that's a chance of getting something better in there. We'll do the Donruss product first. Why not get rid of the Donruss? The old, get rid of the old wax first. See who we can pull out of here. Again, this is Stan Musial is our puzzle piece there. All right, and we'll go through this 88 Donruss. There we go for Kevin's card collecting. Tony Gwynn. All right, got a Tony Gwynn for Kevin's card collecting right there. Alan Ashby with the Houston Astros. Greg Walker with the Chicago White Sox. Lance Johnson, rated rookie card. There we go, Lance Johnson. Mitch Williams with the Texas Rangers. Jack Lazorka with the California Angels. Mike Fitzgerald with the Montreal Expos. Terry Steinbach with the Oakland A's. Charles LeBrant with the Kansas City Royals. Julio Franco with the Cleveland Indians. Mariano Duncan with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Wayne Tollison with the New York Yankees. Wade Boggs. There we go, Wade Boggs. All right, and then Matt Noakes here. Matt Noakes. with the Detroit Tigers. So nothing late, great, and breaking there. Wade Boggs, Hall of Famer. And Tony Gwynn. 2 Hall of Famers out of that pack. All right. Put the puzzle piece, set that aside there. Put these cards, oops, just right there for now. We'll go into the Topps Heritage here. Topps Heritage next. All right. See what we can find in this 2019. At least they have 2 newer packs in here. And then a 2013 hobby pack. I think it was 2013, wasn't it? All right, let's see who we can pull out. Jackie Bradley Jr. with the Boston Red Sox. There we go. Just did their team history. Jackie Bradley Jr. Albert Almara Jr. with the Cubs. Francisco Cervelli with the Pirates. All right, American League RBI leader J.D. Martinez with the Boston Red Sox. Chris Davis and Edwin Encarnacion. All right, Brandon Crawford with the San Francisco Giants. Max Scherzer with the Washington Nationals. All right, Corey Dickerson with the Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, Rookie Stars, Nick Burdi, pitcher for Pittsburgh. And they're both Pittsburgh Pirates, what am I saying? Alex McRae. And last but not least, James Paxton with the New York Yankees. All right. Gets done with that second pack there. All right, and then before we open the hobby pack, we'll do the reveal on the 2 hit cards. How's that sound? We'll do that way. All right, Allen and Ginter 2019. Sometimes you can pull out some very interesting stuff out of the Allen and Ginter. We'll see if we get anything special and excited. We'll see. Miguel Cabrera with the Detroit Tigers. Albert Almara Jr. All right. With the Chicago Cubbies. All right. Brandon Crawford with the San Francisco Giants. Marcus Stroman with the Toronto Blue Jays. Corey Dickerson with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Cody Bellinger, all right, with the Los Angeles Dodgers. So nothing late, great, and breaking there. All right, let's do the reveal here and see what we can find for our hit cards here. What do we got here? It's upside down. It's Bowman Sterling. All right, on card auto, blue auto. All right, for the Philadelphia Phillies. Shout out to Dearman 2019. All right, so that's one of our hits there, an autograph card. And the last one here is Domingo Santana. Is it going to be an auto? Oh, look at that. 2 Philadelphia Phillies. Shout out to Dearman. Another one on card auto for Domingo Santana. That is 2 cool cards. 2 autograph cards there with both Philadelphia Phillies. All right. All right. Anything I missed in the stack in the chat here? Matt Noakes lost Rookie of the Year to Mark McGwire. Oh, okay. Matt Noakes. Here we go with the Matt Noakes again. Oh, my word. All right. So this is the 2013 Hobby Pack. It's a Panini product. Hence, no logos on there because Topps was still in charge back then and is still in charge till at least what? I think it's 2024 or 2025. There we go. Alright, we have on the back card there Shelby Miller. go to the front here. Jim Johnson. All right, pitcher for Baltimore Orioles. Baltimore Orioles. Is there Andy Pettitte? We got Andy Pettitte here with the New York, I believe it's the Yankees. And Andy Pettitte with the New York Yankees. Come on. It's not helping me out on the back. You gotta love these cards that you can't tell exactly what team because they take off all the logos and stuff. Wow. All right, Paul Konerko with the Chicago White Sox. It's definitely not the Red Sox on that one. All right, here we go. Steven Strasburg with the Washington Nationals. All right, Steven Strasburg with the Washington Nationals. There we go. Guy Giancarlo Stanton with the Miami Marlins behind the numbers. Looks like a subset card. BN6. All right. And then we've got Houston Street with the San Diego Padres. Houston Street. And Brett Lawrie with the Toronto Blue Jays. Brett Lawrie. And of course, that's the rookie card for Shelby Miller with the St. Louis Cardinals. There we go. So there you go. You guys can leave me some feedback when you leave comments and stuff on the video, what you thought about this hot box. Nothing late, great breaking. Couple rookie cards here and there. Puzzle card. Carl Yastrzemski. Or no. Stan Musial. I'm sorry, can't even get the puzzle card right. But then we've got Domingo Santana with the Philadelphia Phillies. And we've got Sterling for the Philadelphia Phillies. Bowman Sterling. Mitch Gueller. So, and Domingo Santana for the Philadelphia Phillies is a... Dun, dun, dun. What position does he play? Outfielder. There we go. He's an outfielder. All right. Those autos are nice. Yeah, in the hot box, because of course they don't know what you might get in the hobby pack. So that's why they say you're guaranteed 2 hits. You could get a hit in the hobby pack sometimes. Just depends, because you know how the hobby packs work. So that pretty much wraps us up for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the content today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me turn the camera around, get ready to say my goodbyes and my sign off here. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the content here today. Let me turn my camera around so I can say goodbye to everybody. All right. Go down here a little bit. You can see I got just my regular Seattle Mariners shirt on. One of the newer ball caps. Not the new star one, but with the S on there. So hopefully you guys are having a great start to your week. I enjoyed my weekend. Got lots of work done. Got lots of things finished up. Plays for the Brewers now. Alright, so we do have still 6 people in the stream. Hopefully you guys are having fun out there. We will be getting ready for of course our content at hand for tomorrow is it's our Topps baseball card set. Tomorrow's our Wednesday, our Topps baseball card set. Alright, we'll be going back in time with our video series on Topps. And tomorrow will be let me make sure I don't want to give you the wrong information here. We will be doing the 1978 Topps. So the 1978 Topps is about the time frame when I pretty much had stopped collecting. That was when I had graduated from high school in 1977. 1978, I went and joined the Navy. So then I was busy getting ready to serve our country, and that took place for 20 years. So it wasn't until later in my Navy career, in the mid 90s, that I did pick up collecting a little bit when I was on shore duty over in Japan. When I wasn't on a ship. When you're on a ship, you just get way too busy, so you don't have time for a lot of that stuff. But when I was on shore duty in Japan, I did take up collecting. So I was collecting for the mid 90s. And then I took another hiatus when I retired from the service, because then I had to get on to my second career and kind of settle on that a little bit. And that's when I worked for the United States Postal Service for 20 years. And toward the end of that, that's what I decided when I retired. I was going to get into my baseball card collecting and selling my cards online on eBay like I do. And I am real behind on the power curve. I haven't listed anything up recently on my eBay page. I do make sales every once in a while, but I will be posting up more items on my eBay page. In case you guys looked and seen that nothing new has posted recently, I will be working on posting some of those items up there. So other than that, I'm only rambling on here a little bit. See if we can get to roughly the 2-hour mark here, which will go about 4 more minutes. So without that, pretty much we're gonna do that. I'll think the next product up for line is a Fairfield box. I'll be doing a Fairfield box tomorrow and opening that. I will intersperse and mingle, or maybe I'll mix some 2020 tops in with my Fairfields and my hot box, or my but just to open up some cards after my regularly scheduled video series. That's what we'll kind of do there. So I'll do my video series on my scheduled days. So that's Tuesday, of course, is the team history. Wednesday is the Topps video series. Thursday will be my player biographies. Friday will be my Hall of Fame inductees. Don, I think this is your first stream with no mention of Ken Griffey Jr. It just didn't feel right. Oh my word. Well, I guess I better mention Ken Griffey Jr. then. In case you guys missed it, this is one of my newer cards I got of Ken Griffey Jr. outside of when I did pull it out from the hobby box. This is my latest pull for Ken Griffey Jr. Not pull. Somebody from Facebook actually sent this to me because they knew I liked Ken Griffey Jr. and stuff. So this one wasn't a pull, but then I will show you what I pulled out of a hobby box. Okay, so let me, in honor of Frank's request that he didn't hear something about Ken Griffey Jr., let me do this. So for those that may or may not have watched my my hobby box break from Saturday, was an awesome break. So without further ado, just because we got 2 more minutes left and stuff, I'll show you not in the order necessarily that I did pull them and stuff, but well, actually, yeah, it was. I'll just do it in reverse order though. We did pull some pretty good cards out of the silver pack. I considered it a hot silver pack. Of course, this one here, we pulled a Jordan Yamamoto rookie card. All right, with the Miami Marlins, and then we pulled a Juan Soto with the Washington Nationals. That was an awesome pull. And then we did get a Aristides Aquino. We got an Aquino rookie card on our Saturday. This is, again, these 4 are from the silver pack that I opened up. And then, of course, this was the first one I picked and did a reveal. So if you want to go back and watch this video, this was the Ken Griffey Jr. that I pulled out of the silver pack, out of my hobby box I got. So in honor of you saying I didn't mention Ken Griffey Jr., I wanted to just mention that out there. So pretty much that was my pulls from the hobby box that I did on Saturday. So I've got those in my separation pretty much from all my items basically that I pulled from the hobby boxes that I've gotten so far. I got 3 little packages sitting off to the side here, but I'm going to go ahead and get ready to wrap things up. That 1985 you pulled in the 2020 the other day was great. Yes, it was. Hey, Don, what's happening? Aaron, you got in here just at the end of the stream. Maybe you'll have to watch the replay. But you guys have a wonderful day. I really do appreciate all your support, and we will see you guys around the channels. Sorry, Aaron, I got some errands I gotta run. I gotta take off here soon. I gotta do our church's deposit. I'm the treasurer and have to run a few errands real quick, and then I will be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. I know it's hard for some people to catch me live. You probably just got back to the house there, Aaron. But so we will see you guys. You have a good day. Yes, exactly. So I do have to take off. You guys have a wonderful and great day. And I really do appreciate having this time each day to spend on the channel and say hi to you guys and gals that are out there. And just have a wonderful day, and we will see you guys around the channels, okay? Bye, guys. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye. Take care.